All right, let's do a sound check. And you can hear, can you see? All good to go. Thank you. Let's get busy. All right, all good. We like when it's all good. So, okay, election night is done, and the markets are rally mode. They like what they see. We have still made one move off the bottom over here into supply, right? I mean, this little doji level on level, and I'm still looking for this little back test over here. I think we're going to look for a small sell-off into a demand zone, maybe 2,700 test. This wick over here is right around 2,700. You could see it's all in one move. We should have this over here, and then we could really start going. The other option is, we take out this zone, and we do the little pushback from where we are up here, right? We pop this zone, hit this, and then we just back test to here, right? And that's the other possibility. Which one, we don't know yet because we're at supply, but as we go through the lower time frames, we can see if we start popping the zone that we're in and we're moving up, then we'll know what to expect. For now, cautious. I don't like where we are. You can see that we're dancing up here on this trend line. I'm going to zoom out a minute on the 60. Pretty much for the last 2 days. Let's get it open here. Big. There we go. So what is it? 1, 2, 3. Today's the 4th day that we've been dancing on this thing. There's not really any good demand inside this. And if we pierce it, so, then guess what? Look where the number is. See it? So yeah, I think we're going to see something like this over here. Into this zone, and that's going to be the long, no question about it down there. The only question is, do we keep dancing until we get up to the next level? Let's see how far that is. Zooming out here, so that's the 2,800 and change, right? And we look at it over here, we can understand, right? There's a bunch of crap over here, right? So we're getting a bunch of crap over here as we start to work our way through. That's the other zone on the daily chart. That's 2,800 and change or whatever. So could we keep doing that? Yeah. Is there a good risk to reward ratio inside this area? Absolutely not. It could sell off at any one of these crappy zones and just pierce underneath us. So I don't really see a good setup yet. I don't mind the short here, and I like the long here. Okay, and the short up here, even though we're channeling up, we're looking for that back test on the higher time frame to give us a higher low. So a sell off out of 2,800 probably back tests to 2,750, which is the trend line. If we continue to rally up. If we break underneath, long at 2,700. In between, don't do anything. It's a piece of shit. Okay? That's what we're looking at for ES over here. Let's go look at this 15, see what we got. Here's our 15. And, okay, so we've reached some 15 supply. You could see the little trend line. We've just hit the demand zone over here. We did make a couple of lower highs. There's supply up there. It's not a good spot for anything really going on over here. Let's zoom out a little, get some more data on here. Where's our next zone? So there's that little gap area up there. Again, it's the same area. We pop into this thing. Could I get long above here maybe? I don't know. Is there anything up there? Let's see what this 15 looks like. Nah, there's shit. You see, there's got crap here, crap here. There's no good risk to reward ratios up here. Okay, so that's it. That's the plan. Plan is sit tight. If we break and we get down to 2,700 and change, I would go long. Otherwise, let it get up into that 60 supply zone. We'll try the shorts up there. All right. Anybody have a question for ES? Go ahead and ask. Otherwise, we're going on to the NASI. Cool. Next. All right, moving along, NASDAQ. All right, so the NASDAQ over here actually may already have a little higher low here. You see it? We pierced this on the daily. We still have this other supply zone over here, but NASDAQ is looking a little bit stronger. It's right now testing the 200 average. We haven't closed above the 200 daily. See it? The blue line, since we broke below, like whatever it was, 2 weeks ago. And we haven't had a close up there. We pierced it, over here, and maybe today will be the day we close above it, but right above it is like a trap. There's supply over here at 72 and change. It's still, 100 or change away from where we are. So there's room, but we should get one more push down, especially if the ES, we know the ES doesn't have this higher low yet. It's going to have a little sell-off, so the NASDAQ probably comes after hitting this supply zone to back test this demand that's going to be over here around 7,000. So again, where are we? We have room for about another 100 points up, and after that, That's it. We're going to look for a pullback, and then that long that we get after the pullback is the one we're going to ride into the highs till the end of the year. Santa Claus is coming down, and it's time to do our little year-end, book cooking, make everything look nice and neat. So we're going to look for a push over here. There's about like I said, about 100 and change into this supply zone, and then we get a pullback, right, somewhere into maybe 7,000 over here. And then it's rally, pull back higher low, higher highs, higher lows until the end of the year. That's what we're looking for. So again, we're in the middle. I don't like anything over here, waiting for either the supply short over here or a pullback into 7,000 for the long. So that is, again, not in a good risk to reward situation, at least for the higher time frames. On the smaller time frames, so we did a little, V-bottom, inverted head and shoulders type of move over here, which finished right now. Right, we had a little head and shoulders going on last night, right, and now we've just about gotten there. It's over through the air. There's supply up there, and again, same idea. These zones, there's level on level situation over here. So I sort of drew the trend line on this one, just because that'll get me like somewhere in the middle of the zones. If you wanted to try a long over here, it's okay. We just no higher high yet. Is it going to hold? I don't know, but it is 7,000, right? I'd much rather see us pop up to 72, and then we take the long at 7,000. That would be a much better long. But if we just drop into here, we'd have to watch and make sure that's really going to hold over here. Who knows? It does. Maybe it gets underneath. We don't know. So if it's taken out this high, I'd be a lot more comfortable, buying the long over here. But just with pretty much equal highs, this has to prove to me that it's going to hold before I would take it. Okay, so either way, I don't like where we are. There's no room to make money over here. So it is what it is. Next. Okay. Any other questions? Go ahead. Okay, crude. So finally, we get a beautiful bounce. Crude hits our target from Sunday into the lows, breaking down underneath, all right, into the first level. And right now we get a nice bounce back into some supply, base drop on the daily. Right, we do have inventory today at 10:30, so we'll have to see how that plays out. But you can see as of now, we're in the first level of supply. There's our supply zone right on the 240. On the 240 chart, there's the demand. Bingo, bang, right to the supply. And now the question is what happens here, right? There is another supply zone over here, would be a test of this trend line back here, which makes sense. 64. If we do get to 64, then we have to buy the pullback into this level of demand at 62-ish, right? Because there's going to be a base rally over here. I would say time to start buying over here on the pullback. As of now, we could still take the short up here because it's just a base rally into supply up there on the 240. So we're still in a downtrend, no question about it. But it would be 63, 64 down into this area. It's $1 down or something like that. If we hold the level, then we're going to start to really rock and roll. There is a test of 70 coming. There's no question about it. Okay, we're going to get back up here, and I think that will be a really, really nice short. But you know what? This is $8. So it's time to start thinking about getting long based on where we landed on the weekly chart. We're still in an uptrend, right? Take a look down here, and we've landed in the demand zone on the weekly chart, one move off the top from an uptrend. Okay, so this is the level. It goes all the way down to 60. We're in the middle of it right now. So, that's the level that will at least produce the back test to 70, right? And then we'll see what happens. So this is a smart trade for a long, especially if you're going to try and swing this thing. We're getting into the locations of where it's time to start thinking swing long crude, okay? And if we see the 60 chart, as of yet, not in an uptrend just yet, right? It did create a demand zone down here off the lows. There's a little V-bottom, right? Push down, higher lows, retracing the air. We're back to the top. We should see a pullback, higher low, and then maybe into this zone. So there is actually potentially a long sitting over here someplace. Let's go see if we can find it. For the move into here, this has to be a short. We just saw it on the 240. It's still a downtrend. We take the short here and look for some kind of higher low. Yes, correct. It's a weekly hook reversal. That's right. And it's in demand, and it is actually an uptrend on the weekly, Chuck. So and no question about it. Okay, it makes sense to start thinking long down here. Okay, even though the 60 is still pointing down, where's that demand zone we're talking about? Let's see. Well, there's a bunch of supply in our way. You could see the little V-bottom that formed over here on the 15 chart. Right, there's the drop, base, drop. There's the sell-off. There's the higher low. We based a bunch, but we end up tracing through the air all the way back to the origin. Now we're looking for the pullback in the higher low again, right, which would give us a long someplace over here into this 64 range. There's a little level on level going on over here, right? And this has to be a short. 64 has to be a short. Look how much air is up here. Between 64 and 65, there's $1 of air. So it's unlikely that we get all the way through and get up to here, at least unless the inventory number is just psychotic, right? Psychotically bullish. It's more likely that we hit one of these zones and we pull back and we test this demand over here and then we start to rally, So I would definitely recommend the short up here. As far as the long, I don't see the entry on this particular chart. Let's see if we can find something that makes sense. If we're looking for the entry into the long, cancel that. Let's see where it is. Zoom, zoom, zoom. All right, so there's a little inverted failed hammer demand over here. That's definitely demand, no question. Right over here. That makes a lot of sense when we look to the left and we see that it was the supply zone actually, right? That we broke down out of. So that's that. And the question is, what's this? Is there something even over here? Well, this is starting to look like a little head and shoulders. We have the lower high over here. This is going to be like a head and shoulders on a smaller time frame. So it's possible we pull all the way back to here. Be a pretty good looking long over there. Okay. Let's see what it looks like on the little time frame. Is there a zone here someplace that we have to know about? That's the one I just drew. That's the other one. It's a doji. We're sitting on top of it. We do have lower highs in our face. I wouldn't be trading this. We're still a downtrend of the 60. Nah, not really, But 62.40 something or other is where the bottom of the zone is. So it's still another 30 ticks. You can see the head and shoulders up here, right? Pretty clear. So that's about it for crude. I like the long lower down at 62, right? It's basically 62. Look at the numbers. Or the short up higher at 64. Okay. Again, we're in the middle of those two zones, so sit on your hands. All right. Dollar is getting clocked over the last couple of days. After we do this big, we take out the pivot up here, and then we start selling off. We come right to the level of demand. Look where it was, right? This is all the prior highs. See where we are? We're going to get a bounce out of this zone. I know there's a head and shoulders here. We can see it, but this is it. Right over here, maybe a dot more, but that's it. We should see a back test over here to the supply zone. Something up here to see what's going on. Can we turn this into a higher low? This is really one move down from in an uptrend, right? This is boom, 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 boom. What's next? Right? So we don't have any lower highs over here. So at this point, we're getting to the place where the dollar should start to hold itself. Okay. Until it does, it doesn't, but that's what we're looking at over here. This is a move drop. There's a rally. There's actually a downtrend on the 240, right over here with the pivot up and then breaking the lows underneath here. So let's see how that plays out for our other currencies as we go through them. We'll look at gold first. All right, so gold is just stuck. It's bottom, lower in the way. No other better way to put it, right? Little flag. We test underneath. We come back in, but we've been bouncing around between like 37 and 25 or something, 20, 28 for almost the whole week in this area. It's fighting. I believe it's going to break up, but until it does, it doesn't really make sense to be trading gold right now. Okay. Let's look over here. You'll see the little levels that we've been banging between. I'm going to blow up to 60, and it's just, if you're the range trader, so, good luck to you. The 37 worked every time. Up here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times in the zone, and we keep selling off out of there. And so until it breaks, it doesn't. Looks like we just last night tagged the demand zone. Wow, that was sweet. I didn't even notice that. 24.2. We actually missed the entry by 1 tick from the proximal line, but the demand is right there clearly, and then all the way back to the supply again. So, it's range bound. Trade accordingly. I'm still waiting for that chance of the 1207. When I keep showing you, I've got an order sitting down there for weeks already. Otherwise, this is it. It's range bound. There's the range. It's popping around. Have fun. I'm not a range guy. I hate that shit. All right, so that's for you. Next, euro. So this thing obviously had a wicked rally over the last couple of days, right off the lows on the daily chart. Right, there was a supply zone over here, drop base drop, which we ended up piercing. We hit the doji supply over there, and then we just base a little bit out of it, and then we make the new high, but we're still inside the supply zone. All right, we had a little level on level. This doji, and then we had the supply that was over here, all right, over here. And now we've gotten to the top of the zone. It's the 240 zone. It's really one move. It's a little rally-based rally. It should get some kind of back test. If it's going to hold, it has to hold the higher low. That's what it needs to hold. Right now, it's just a rally, base, rally. No big, real strong higher low yet. I don't think we're looking for too much more to the upside without a back test. So on the 60 chart, right, we're almost at this supply zone. Let's take a look at it. Okay, so that is like super duper supply. You know, if you're drawing the doji out where it was, we just nicked it. If you're being a little more stingy, which I was being, I love the short here. I know we're looking at what looks like an uptrend, or not looks like it is an uptrend, but again, what I just showed you on the higher time frame is saying we need some kind of back test. Look at this level, fresh. Okay, so yeah, there's a little wick underneath it, but you know, we push into this thing, I would not be surprised to see a back test all the way to, you know, to here, which is a really nice short. It's 1,000. It's like 200 ticks down. So for now, that's the level I'd like to try the short on. If we don't get up there, we pull back and hold something as a higher low, then we're going to start talking about, you know, a swing type of trade for euro on the long side. Okay. So for now, again, there isn't a great looking trade over here. Let's think there's one nice level on the 15. In case it wants to get there before we really rally any higher. This is the zone I looked at over here. I know there's something up higher over here, but we've already gotten damn close to that, and we're looking at higher lows. So, if we get down here and start to hold this thing, that's, you know, that's where I would be looking for a long for euro. Otherwise, you know, right now we're looking at uptrend of the 60. The shorts are counter trend, so we're not in that higher time frame supply. Again, not really a great setup over here for the short side. Okay. Unfortunately, I'm not finding too many great looking trades for today yet, but we'll see. Let's keep going. Aussie dollar. Massive rally. Big ass rally, base rally on the daily chart. Right back to the top of this little thing. A little double bottom. There's the middle. There's the origin of the move. It's finished. So now what happens? Well, this is a downtrend, right? And we're rallying straight off the top. Off the bottom, there should be some kind of sell-offs coming pretty soon. We're at the level that should do it. We're outside the Bollinger Bands in the supply of the daily chart, blah, 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 blah. Demand right over here. So we're looking for some kind of sell-off into this. Again, trend on the 60, I will look at it in a minute, but I'm saying at least on the daily, we just did a little double bottom. We were in a downtrend, right? The weekly is definitely in a downtrend. The 240 actually is in an uptrend, right? And it's in some air with some supply up above us. We can see there's a little breakout going on over here from these, you know, long-term, or whatever this was back here, a bunch of resistance down there that now is looking like it was, again, over here, some kind of resistance, which will turn into support. So we backed out over here. It's looking like a short into 72.50. It's probably a decent-looking trade once we put on the lower high up there, at least on a smaller time frame. See if we gotten that yet. Nope. Nothing on the 60. There's the supply zone we're about to come into. You know, these demand zones have been danced on top of. This would be the target. I would say around 7,200 on a sell-off out of here. Okay, so you know, hit the supply, give us a smaller high, a smaller time frame, lower high, and start to trade down into this zone, and knowing that we're looking at a counter trend move basically on the higher time frames. This move up. So we're at the higher time frame supply. It looks like the 15 has actually been hit, and there's the lower high. I would be getting short now at this point. That's where the stop goes, right? And we're looking at a bunch of, you know, air. It looks like this level over here just got hit. There's the lower high. Stop goes above. I'm looking at least, you know, this pullback. So that's, you know, 50 ticks for Aussie dollar right there. That's a decent looking trade. A very small risk. It looks like 8 ticks of risk to me. Stop, you know, 73.04. We're at 96. That's 8 ticks. 8 to make 50. Sounds good to me. It's a 6-to-1 trade. Okay. There we go. Aussie short. Next. Pounds. So again, on the pounds, we were looking at a daily downtrend. Okay. Look here. Boom, boom, down. Okay. We hit demand over here. It's a double bottom situation. We rally right to the doji supply, and then we pause for one day, but then we get the failed hammer. So we pop up to the next supply zone, which we just pierced, by the way. That's gone now. So actually on the daily chart, there's still room up here. Looks like this comes off. Let's get rid of that. That was not holding. And now we're looking at, air back to 13, 2 something or other. At least on the daily chart, we should see a back test, at least to this demand zone. Again, same idea, because this is all counter trend. The move up is all counter trend. Okay? Just like the move down on the dollar is counter trend, right? And this dancing on this supply, on this, trend line. There is a beautiful looking supply zone up here. That's the three. That's it. That's where we're going to break. And then you can see the breakdown, right? Once we clear this trend line, there's nothing underneath us. This is all air. Under here, you're looking at a back test to here. This is all one move: rally, base, and this is all just garbage. So where's the sell-off? Where are the sellers? They're not here yet, which means they're gonna show up. The guys that did this are going to show up to test themselves, right? Or at least the buyers are running up to test them. They're going to push back. This is the level I would be getting out of. So I'm starting to look for a short over here with a target of 2950. It looks like. Okay, let's see if we start to see that developing on the little time frames. Well, here's the supply on the 60. No lower high yet, right? This is channeling up. Is there an uptrend here? Well, there's our lows. Let me zoom out a little bit and see what we're seeing. I'm not sure if there's an uptrend even here. Let's take a look. Oh, there is. I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't have to go that far. It's right here. There's the pivot, at least here, and then we start making higher highs. So it's not strong, but it's there. All right, we've hit supply. So you'd have to wait till we hit some demand, on the small time frames and print the lower high, which looks like we might have done that already. So let's take a look. And again, over here, at minimum here, 2950 is, where's the number we're looking at? 2950 is even all the way down here someplace. On this chart, I'd probably be exiting over here. This looks really nice. As far as 60 demand, boy, oh boy, that looks really powerful. Bunch of tight dojis, a lot of air under here. So if it pierces, we might get a little more, but that's a pretty nice trade as it is. So I'd be looking right there for an exit. I want to just see if we started the short on the lower time frames yet. And we have a lower high someplace over here. Here's our 15. Supply gets hit. Right, this is still in an uptrend as it is. I see a drop. I don't really see the lower high yet, which means we should be getting a bounce out of something over here. Either this doji over here we're about to get to, or this demand zone. The short entry would be sitting right over here. See these dojis? If we push up into here, create a lower high around 3180, enter short. There's only garbage under here. This is all garbage. Nothing here, no demand. So, short over here. If that starts working down, we're going to break down at least here. I would say, yeah, looking really nice. Pretty good short coming on the chart here. All right, so watch this level right here. And wait for the bounce. And if we hold 3180 on the short side, enter short. Very nice looking trade. That's a nice one. Aussie dollar's already doing the lower high. That one looks like that's where it should come out. Let's look at Canadian. Oh boy. Okay. So first of all, we see a really nice bounce down here. When we look at it, from a little bigger perspective, it's just sideways in the range. It does have an engulfing higher low so far on the daily chart, right? With some strength. We've just hit supply though. So the question now is, are we back testing out of this level? Let's open up to 240 for a minute. I'm pretty sure the trend is down. I just want to confirm that. Okay, so yeah, let's see. Boom, boom. This is down. Do we have an uptrend here? Oh, no. This is still down. But the uptrend will come when we pierce here. If this becomes the higher low, when we get up here, we'll be up. So this is all counter trend right into the supply zone. It's looking like it's starting to sell off. There's a bunch of air over here. So again, the Canadian is on the short side, is looking pretty decent. Remember, the dollar is in its demand zone, so that makes a lot of sense. That this is the place where the dollar should start to bounce, and the other currencies should start to give back this ridiculous rally that we've seen over here. The Canadian here, pops back up, doesn't even get to the supply. It's basing over here. So, is it a lower high, lower low? This trend is down on the 60 chart. The shorts are allowed now. Okay. Here's the lower high. Then we make lower lows. Then we get one move straight up over here. Well, I take it back. I retract that. Here's the demand. There's a higher low here, and then we made a higher high. So we're actually not down. We're up still. So we need to see the lower time frame start flipping over before we can actually take the short. But there's a whole lot of air over here. Okay, let's go see what that is. 15, yes, wow, there you go. Trend setting up right now. There's the supply zone. It just got hit. There's the demand zone. It's right here. Okay, we hit the demand and print the lower high. Look at all the air underneath us. Okay, so that's the idea. And we're waiting for this to get out of the way. If we get lower highs, the shorts are starting, which means the dollar is going to start to hold its demand, and we should start to see some selling in the currencies pretty much for the rest of the day, I would think, at this point. Looking at demand arriving here, you can see it. It's really clear. A little back test on the lower high anywhere. It looks like this would be the entry somewhere over here, around 7660 for a short potentially right here. That's the level to watch. Okay. It looks like on the 2, it already triggered the lower high right here. And then we put the lower high, and then you get the engulfing candle. So we're looking for the 5, right? The 15. Those didn't come yet. So the 5 will come now. We just arrived in 5-minute demand. We'll back test, and this level is probably the one that should hold. If we do hold it, that's the short entry. Okay. Target for today, somewhere down here. Also a nice looking trade, pretty easy. Nice all air. Okay. So it looks good to me. A couple of nice trades finally. There we go. Something going on. Anybody have a question? Be my guest. Otherwise, we're moving along. JY hit one of my beautiful zones last night and missed my entry by like 4 ticks. And it is what it is, but I'll show it to you. So JY over here on the daily right now, is testing this doji. We dropped into the doji. It's rally base, rally demand. We're in a downtrend already. Okay, we had a little double pop. Okay, and we broke in the middle, and we're almost down to where we started from. There's the middle. There's the double top over here. We've come back as far as this so far. And then we've rallied back up into supply. We should be able to finish this move over here. Are we going to create higher lows over here? Don't know. But until we get into the uptrend, we're still a lot shorts. And we hit a fantastic zone. I mean, something really beautiful. I hope some of you caught it, because it was the level I was in our webinar on Sunday. I had the order there just a little too high. This is our 60 supply with this, whatever this was, elections. We hit supply and demand, and we're selling off a little bit. You can see that, and we got a bunch of air over here. So we're in a downtrend. The move up over here is all counter trend. We hit supply. We should be, breaking lows again. That's what we're looking at over here. So short on yen. Okay. Makes a lot of sense with the markets rallying, right? So short on yen. Oh, there. Okay. This is the 60 level. Okay. It was wicks against the wall, which we just, got into the zone a little deeper. The 15 was the magic zone. We're at demand actually over here. So we might get a little pop and a small higher low with a chance to enter. Look at all the air underneath us over here. So this is level breaks. We can get short underneath us. We should get some kind of bounce. It's a 50 average test and the demand zone. So maybe a little back test on a smaller time frame for a short chance. Yeah, there's the demand zone. We're about to arrive into it. This is the zone I was talking about. I'm going to zoom out. Okay, oops, I'll zoom back in a little bit. And there you go. So this is the zone. I loved it because it was, a trap above all these highs back here. Beautiful rally base, rally, big leg in, big leg out, flip zone. Look back here, right? It's got all kinds of stuff going there. And you can see what happened to me. I missed the entry. And boom, boom, boom. So here's demand right here. There's a demand zone over here also. So right now, if we bounce out of the zone that we're in, so the entry for the short is sitting over here. If we get through this zone and we hit this one, then the entry into the zone is probably going to be somewhere over here at the test of the lows. So think shorts for for yen for now. This is a V-top reversal that we're going to see, and at this point, more than likely going to break the lows. Okay, look for a little back test and a short entry. See where I can find a better looking spot. Yeah, so this one's working out pretty well so far. Look at that. Okay, so the drop base drop over here, drop base, right, was demand on this side. We just hit it over there, so you can see what's going on. There's a chance over here. We still should get another back test out of some of this demand and a chance into a short, probably somewhere in the 88600 over here on these little tight dojis over here. So keep your eye on yen. I think you're going to get a decent entry for a short today. Okay. good looking trades. So the currencies are starting to show, that we should expect a chance into shorts, even though it's looking like on some of them it may be a counter trend on the 60, but definitely the trade we're looking for today. And that, yes, so the gap up on Sunday, boom, right into my target. I mean, this was fantastic. The only thing was, didn't get a chance into the trade. Just gapped right away and hits our target and then starts to bang. We have a weekly gap up here, a weekly gap up here, and right now it's dancing in between. It's actually holding the gap, which is really interesting, which means this is real. There's no bullshit down here. We should expect this thing to get all the way through here. So, top of the gap at minimum, 3.7, for nat gas is on the table, which means we want to start getting long, right? The pullback into the demand over here would be very nice. Okay, there is a demand zone over here. This is a rally-based rally, right? The gap is a extended candle. So there's demand right there, which we can look at. And if it breaks that demand zone, then we get, it gets tricky because we're in the gap air. And the gap air could turn around any place. We don't know where. We have to wait for it to start to show us a hold on a smaller time frame building a bottom, and then we can rely on. Otherwise, this is the entry right here. 3.4 and change as the first level of demand after the highs. And continuation into 3.6 and 7, I think, is the top of the gap, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. There's the 60. You can see we got a little higher yesterday. We're working on our gaps over here. We got a little head and shoulders going on the 60 right now. So, back into this test over here. We'll see if it holds. Otherwise, there's the gap. There's demand at the bottom of the gap. It's going to be a rally-based rally. Treat this like a big candle over here, right? So you're drawing the zone like this, or the leg in, depending on risk situation. And someone has a question, so let's take your question, Mr. Who is that? Raj, hey buddy. What's up, Raj?
Okay, good morning. I have just general observation. In Euro, the trend is up, but you are thinking to go counter trend for daily trade.
On the 60 because because we're at a higher time frame supply zone, the daily. We're not up on the daily, right? The 240 is not up either. We're in supply zone. We've got a wicked pop. The weekly over here has a little double bottom. We're coming back to supply. So we're in a level where there should be a pullback. If we're going to really rally, we need to start to pull back and make a higher low for some of the higher time frames. And this is the spot where it should happen. We're there already as far as the supply zones. So just because we're in an uptrend doesn't mean we don't make pullbacks, right? So, yeah, we're in an uptrend. We're looking at a pullback with a lot of room over here, right? So that's what we're seeing. I mean, that's the only trade. I don't see, if we pull back and make a higher low, you want to get long, then that's fine. Otherwise, you don't have a trade over here, right?
Okay, but my question was does it get, how do you weigh the dollar analysis on this kind of trade? Do you consider
so the dollar? We know the dollar is in its demand zone, right? And the dollar is in an uptrend,
right?
And it's sold off. So the move down was counter trend for the dollar, right? And now the dollar's in demand, which means it should start to rally. Which when the dollar starts to rally, the other currencies are going to sell off, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that's what's going on. That's why I'm saying we looked at the dollar's in an uptrend. We've arrived in the demand zone. It's a very good demand zone. Take a look at what it is. So the breakout area of all these highs back here. See it?
Right.
So this is where the dollar should start to hold. Doesn't mean it's going to make new highs. It just means it should bounce. At least
so your analysis of Euro is basically based on this also. There is influence of dollar.
Of course. They're trading against the dollar.
Understood.
The euro.
Okay.
What's the other side of the euro? It's the dollar, right? So absolutely. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Yep. No problem. Next. All right. Cool. So we were just looking at the GC is dropping too. That's nice. Where's it going, Dave? Into my zone yet? Well, yeah. If the dollar's going to start rallying, yeah. So there's the pullback again. So the same fucking zone. All right. There's demand here. So who knows what it does, right? Right here. Yeah. Okay. Same. This is the same. Otherwise buy down here. Sell up here. It's in the middle of the range right now. It's right in the middle. Right? So, cool. All right. That was NEC. Yes, we looked at. Let's look at copper. Actually, we didn't look at the small time frames on that. Yes, I think. Right? Did we? No, we didn't. We looked at the 60, and there's a little air on our 15 chart. Okay, we had a pretty nice nat gas trade yesterday, right? Made new highs after the entry, and then now it's gone. So the zone is finished over here. This is a little level on level situation down here. Right, this thing over here in the bottom corner. Let me take this off. This is pierced. Okay. And this area right down here is sort of level on level, right? Not sort of, it is. It looks like did we touch the top of the wicks over here? We might have over there, but you know, a lower high would get me, you know, this piece. This looks like to be the long down here. That's what we're looking for, an entry into the longs, I think. For now, let's see if it's made any higher lows. It might have on some smaller time frames. Maybe we look for a V-bottom entry over here. Let's take a look. Yeah, there is actually maybe an opportunity here. Actually, take a look. Here's our supply. First level of supply after the new low in the day. It's looking like a little bit of a double bottom down here, right? If we can push down and hold the bottom, so then we can start talking about a V reversal over here back into the longs. That's a pretty smart idea at this point. Being that we want to be long nat gas, that's probably a pretty good opportunity. All right, so watch this zone. If we sell off and make a higher low, you get twins, you get engulfing, you get some kind of reversal candle down here. Enter long and look for, you know, new highs again into the gap. That's what I'm seeing over here for nat gas. Looks pretty good. Okay. Next. Copper. Boop, boop, boop. So we back tested to the lows. We come back to the supply again, and it's hanging out right there. So you can see we sort of flag. We sort of dip down, we make the higher low over here on the daily, get back to the top of the range, pull back, so we're stuck. Here's the supply, here's the demand, and we're dead center. We don't know which way this is going just yet. You know, if it pops the zone, we have a really nice long, and if it breaks the bottom, it's going to make new lows. So it's sort of in a dangerous spot. It needs to hold this demand zone for it to rally. And until it, you know, decides which way it wants to go, you can take the short here or you can take the long here. They're pretty far away, by the way. This 240 chart. They look close. They're not. It's worth a lot of money, that move. So right now, as we're in the middle, we don't really have an option other than to wait it out and see where it wants to go. Let's take a look at the 60. So there's some demand underneath us, and supply is right above, and we're pretty much in the middle, right, dead center of all this range. It looks a lot like what gold is doing right now, right? We're right in the middle of this mess, and we're at some smaller time frame higher lows. So this actually has maybe a chance. If we create a higher low over here, there's a little V bottom going on. We can ride it back to like 2.8. Looks like up to here, but we don't know if that's going to work yet. It looks like it's in the zone already on the 15. So we can see, yeah, it is. Little flag over here. You see we had a little V-bottom formed over here on this 15 chart. Looks like overnight. There was the supply zone. There's the rally. There's the sell-off. There's the higher low. There's the top. This is the pullback into the demand zone. So if this holds, I would say target is 2.8 right here. So maybe a chance. It looks like it's a flag right now. Right? It's very channely. If it starts to hold down here, maybe think long into 2.8. Okay? It looks pretty good. Interesting for copper, maybe a chance. Okay. See what it looks like on the little time frames. Any holding, any bottoms being held yet? Not yet. We just came into the demand. Pen, you can see that. Here's the demand zone on the 5. We've just hit it. We got a little, you know, doji candle. You could try this now. Put the stop just under that candle, right? Just small little risk over here. If it starts rallying out of this thing, you're looking at 2.8. That's a big fucking trade for copper. That's a lot of money. 75, 35 to 2.8, 500, 100. That's $1,300, $1,400 per contract on the upside, with a risk of looks to be only about 6 or 7 ticks, about $80, $90 of risk here. I would try that trade. Right, long with the stop underneath here, right under here. So 35, that's 7 ticks, about 7 ticks of risk. It's $84, $85, you know, for 2 contracts, $175 of risk. Looks like a smart trade to me. Okay, nice. Soy. Tomorrow is the USDA report. Okay, so we're not trading soy today, but we're getting ready because this thing is absolutely ready for us. Finally, I've been waiting for this thing since I think down here someplace, right? Weeks and weeks and weeks. Last week we get the beautiful engulfing back to the supply. We had a little harami so far this week. You can see what it's looking like on the monthly chart. Failed hammer on the monthly chart. Hello. Okay? We had a wicked pop up. You get the higher low in the daily chart, and then we start flagging out. And there is a fantastic zone sitting over here that hopefully tomorrow at the USDA report, 12 noon, comes and hits us. It is so pretty. And that's going to give us a really nice long. The level I'm talking about is on the 15 chart. I'm going to show it to you right now. Zoom out a little bit. Boom, boom, boom. There it is. Okay. Take a look. So there's actually two zones. Right now, I've been trading this one. Should we hit this zone before the news, which means sometime today or early tomorrow, then we're going to trade this one. This is magical. If you get down here, set, bye-bye, just long. Otherwise, I'm trading this one, giving it a little bit, a couple of ticks under the zone for the long. And again, this is a swing trade, and the target for this sucker is 10. Okay, so a wicked, wicked trade on the weekly chart for a swing trade on soy. Let me just go back to the weekly for a second. Pen, look at the air. Okay, if we get some kind of back test over here, we're talking about riding it up to, it could be potentially even more than 10. But for now, 10. 860 to 10, that's, what is that, $1.40, about $9,000 a contract for soy. Okay, something psychotic. Okay, so keep your eye on that tomorrow, 12 noon. Cool. Bonds. Any questions yet? No, we're all good? Okay, we're all good. So the bonds right now are printing an engulfing candle on the daily chart with a higher low potentially right here. So this is starting to wake up. It's time to think about longs. I know we're in a downtrend. If we start holding this level over here, we've got a V reversal going on the 240. Okay, we'll look at it in a minute on the smaller time frames. 138 at least for a target on the upside. There's a little gap up there on the daily chart that has to get tagged. That's probably the target. It looks like 138 and 23, 23, 24, 25, somewhere in that range. Little gap up there. You can see it right over here. It's in between these two candles. Okay, and right now on the lower time frames, it's actually starting to look like it wants to hold a little bit. So longs make sense. Okay, look at the 60. There's the V that we're talking about. Right? I know we pierced this thing, but that's the election news. It went right into demand anyway. Then we came up and we broke the supply zone. We've already broken it, and we're back testing it right now. So if this level holds, we're looking at this. This is almost a full point for bonds. It's a lot of money. Okay. On the 15, looks like supply became demand, blah, blah, blah. Okay. There's the demand zone. It's starting to hold over here. And we shoot out of this sucker. This is the supply. It would have a higher low. It's actually a double bottom. We go through that, and then we're at our target after that. So bonds long look really nice over here. Looks like this level over here was pierced last night, so we'll take that off with the election news. Okay, done. And that's it. So really the currency options are what looks to be the best looking trade so far. The equities we said are in real no place. Crude looks really nice also for an option potentially on a long down here at 62 or short at 64. All right, and what else? Then the currencies we're talking about. We said Aussie long, Aussie short, right? Looks like it's already playing out pretty nicely. Some of the other currencies all looking shorts. Okay, let's take some questions and we'll wrap up the session. Anonymous first, okay? What's up, Anonymous?
Nathan.
Hey, buddy.
You mentioned, good. You mentioned no trades on equities. Can you look at why? On a 60 chart?
Yeah, no problem. Give me a second. Let me take the other question, and then we'll wrap up with YM, okay?
Sure.
Hold on. No
Thanks.
Okay, next. George, what's up?
Morning, Joe. Quick question. If lower time frame 60 and lower are in an uptrend and the higher time frame, let's say 240 and daily, are in a downtrend,
good.
As a follow-up to what Raj had asked, are you looking then to see if those levels hold before taking a counter trend?
Good. So your question is, my lower time frames, which is my day trades, are looking like they're up. The higher time frames, which is more type swing type trading, are showing down. And now I'm telling you, well, we should be looking, to take shorts today, and they're counter trend on the 60. That's your question. And the rest question is you're asking me, do I take that, as a limit order, or am I looking for it to start to hold? I'm assuming. Am I clear on your question?
Yes.
Before I answer it? Okay, good. So that's the question that you're asking, and my answer is yes. Since we are on the lower time frames in an uptrend, I want to start to see that the level is actually going to hold. It doesn't mean I have to have the trend flip, right? I pointed out to you, let's say on the Aussie dollar, all I want to see is the lower high in the 15 chart. If I see a lower high in the 15-minute chart, that's telling me that the zones that we're in on the higher time frame are going to start to work at least enough to start to get risk off my trade. I should start thinking shorts because the higher time frame are in the direction of the trend I'm entering, and they're at the zone where the price should start going in that direction again, and back into the direction of the trend. So even though the lower time frame is against my entry, once I start to see the chinks in the armor, the crack in the trend of the higher time frame, because I'm getting the lower high, it's time to trade. So yes, it's not a limit order, but it's showing to you. Look at the screen here. All right? Look at the 50. Look at the 15 Aussie dollar. What we're saying is this lower high here is telling me that it's time to think shorts again because the higher time frame is in the downtrend.
And do you weigh the 240 less than the daily? If, let's say, there are two supply zones as is coming up into there?
Right. So once we've hit this lower time frame supply, I don't care. I want to see that we're at supply in the higher time frame, and then I'm looking at my lower time frame chart to show me, hey, did I get the lower time frame supply? I did. Is it starting to show that it's going to work? It is. That means that the higher time frame is getting ready to take over. I can enter a trade within my risk parameters and get risk off. It's time to take the trade.
Okay. Thank you, Joe.
You got it, man. All right, we're going to wrap up with YM and what's the question. By the way, in case you didn't see the tweet, I opened up a YouTube channel for you guys, and I've posted so far all the webinars from 2018 from the Sundays so far. I'm going to post the Wednesdays also, but going forward, I'm going to be posting the webinars weekly on the YouTube channel, just with a week delay, right? So if you're a subscriber, you're getting it live and you're getting it on time. If you're getting it for free, you're getting old information. But at least I'm helping people that need some assistance along the way in trying to understand how to analyze markets and point out time. So you can check out the YouTube channel, YouTube users with www.youtube.com/user/Joe Selfer. I tweeted out the link. It's in the tweet. It might be a good idea if you want to just mark it off or whatever and subscribe, or so you can actually go back in time and check me out and see if I know what the fuck I'm talking about. Anyway, let's go look at the YM. YM. There we go. So you were asking, Raj, you can raise your hand again. I'll turn on your mic. I think it was in the team. Sorry, I think it was in the team. Yeah. And let's go take a look. I think you said the 60, right? Oops. Raise your hand again. I made a mistake. Clicked the wrong button. Raise your hand, buddy. Okay, there we go. This is the team, right?
Yeah, 160.
All right, so you said 60. Okay, let me open a 60 chart. Hold on a second. Let's open a 60 chart up here. And okay. Let's blow it up for everybody so I can see it too. There's our 60. So again, let me just get this out of the way and get my pen, and we're ready to go. I see this crappy uptrend, right? Garbage. And if we break down under there, this is the demand you're looking for.
Just thank you.
25,000. 25,000.
Okay.
25,000.
Okay.
That's it. All right.
Got it. Thank you.
Cool.
Thank you.
You got it.
So
no
if it
problem.
breaks the trend line, I can get short. After
lower high, baby. You can do it as soon as we put on lower high in the 15. You could start the shorts. I mean, there's demand over here.
Right.
So see what happens. But if we start breaking the trend line, we're going to this right here.
Got it. Thank you.
Cool. All right.
Thank you.
Everybody else, have a great day, guys, and I'll see you all on Sunday. Okay. What? Any more questions? No, we're good. Ciao. Have a great day. Bye.